A spectacular performance. Curry from half court. Sometimes, something looks like it's been there a while.
We are here, the 3 Points Podcast. Thomas, West, and I, the three gents, the three musketeers. We did have a gap yet again. We haven't been consistent whatsoever, but this time we're here to stay. We're here to stay this time. We're locked in. The Warriors are here. The Warriors are hot as ever. 5-1 as of just a little bit ago, a couple minutes ago. In the standings, we're the 2 seed. For the people that had the Warriors went all in for the Warriors winning the chip, like Thomas. Thomas, how much did you bet that the Warriors are winning the chip?
I don't put any money on it, but if we had done
Oh, come
so
on.
Oh, he killed
You
the
know
bid.
I
That's
would have said it.
crazy. You killed the bid. You're supposed to say
You
I
just
went
said-
in. You said I put in $2 million.
My tuition.
That's crazy, bro. He killed it. But the Warriors are doing great. How long will this last? Why are we doing great?
Until the
Steph
end of the
is gone
season.
to do. Let's discuss it. So, I could confidently talk about the 2 Pelicans games. I couldn't watch the Trailblazers, the Jazz, or the Clippers because I was in Pakistan for 10 days. The season started when I was there. I guess let's just start with our initial reactions. Around the table, we'll start with Thomas. What do you think about the Warriors in general? Let's talk about just like raw reactions. Like if I were to say 3 bullet points, give me 3 bullet points about why the Warriors are doing really well, in your opinion, to start the season before we dive deep.
So you said 3,
3.
just 3.
Or you
Words
can do
or
3 to
bullet
5. God
Just
damn it.
3.
Okay, fine. 3 to
Okay,
5.
so okay, first it's hustle, hustle. The hustle that the Warriors have been showing this season. Dude, I'm so at it. I haven't done this in so long.
Hey, you're like Steph tonight. Steph just got back.
Yeah, you're
Okay,
getting warmed up. He's
I'm
warming
slumping.
up.
I'm cold. But
You're cold.
genuinely, like the hustle the Warriors have been showing this season is like it's very noticeably different. Like the amount of energy that especially a lot of the new guys they brought in, like you see Healed, Melton, what's his face, Kyle Anderson, like these guys who are getting,
Waters,
15
Lindy Waters.
Waters, like these guys are getting like 15 to 20 minutes a game and coming off the bench, like they're coming in with so much energy. They're attacking loose balls, they're forcing turnovers, and they're also just playing like team basketball. Like passing is so nice to see after last year, you had guys like Clay and CP3 who held the ball a lot, and you would just get whole possessions where it was one guy with the ball for like 20 to,
Yeah.
24
Yep,
seconds
yep,
of the shot
yep,
clock. And you just don't see that at all. Like the motion and the passing is just so nice to watch. Number 2 is just literally just Buddy Hield. Like he's been an absolute revelation. I mean, the shooting, like obviously the hot shooting is not going to continue, but I mean, well, he will be a good shooter, but this level of heat is not going to continue. But he's looking like he's going to lock in for like a 42 to 45% season from 3 on high volume, and that's huge because we
For the
lost Klay
fans at
Thompson,
home,
who
for the fans at home, I'll just throw some stats for Buddy Hield. He is currently averaging 22 points, 1 steal, 2.5 assists, 4.2 rebounds on a 90% free throw, and his 3-point percentage, 51%. So he's been smoking hot.
With 3-point
Yeah.
percentage, right?
3-point percentage.
Okay.
His 3-point percentage has been literally 51%. His field goal has been
51%,
51.6. So his 3-point percentage is a 0.1% higher than his field goal percentage, which speaks to the kind of the hot start he's had. Obviously, like you said, it's probably not going to continue like this, but it's great to see that he's been playing well.
And then my third point is closing out games. Last year, the Warriors lost, I mean, I want to say 10 minimum games that they had a double-digit lead in at one point, and probably
sure.
more.
For
And
sure.
that just hasn't happened this season. We get big leads and we keep big leads and we make them bigger. And I mean, obviously, like it's all the other stuff I was talking about that plays into that, and that's why it's happening. But it's just like a relief, in my chest. I feel it when we get, a 20-point lead in the third quarter. I don't have to think like, oh shit, this is about to disappear. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Last season we were one of the didn't we have like the most clutch games or close games in the
Yeah,
fourth
yes,
quarter,
dude. I
whatever
was
like
like,
that.
that's why I was surprised Steph won Clutch Player of the Year because we had so many bad situations in the clutch where we
Yeah.
just ended up losing them. But yeah,
Yeah, so
um,
last season there's definitely a drastic difference. Wes, if you don't mind, I'll take it from here. I think if I were to, I mean, I said three, but like basically, let's just give our raw opinions. I'm changing the rules. I think our depth has definitely improved. I really like the pieces we've added. Buddy Hield, obviously Splash Buddy, he's just been smoking hot. I personally think his production will drop. I just don't see, like, again, 51.7% 3-point percentage is just not likely. Um, but if he could like hover around that 40%, if he could average on like that 15 points per game, I would be really, really happy with that. Obviously, 22 points right now, great. Um, what I will say is that about Hield, which has been a little bit disappointing, which we did see against the Houston Rockets. Um, his ball handling is not really great. We were talking about that on the chat as well, when he just kind of fumbled and mumbled, like mumbling and jumbling across the court in the last possession against the Rockets, where we blew the lead. It should have been Pods who had that possession, but he decided to take it up. I think he's trying to recreate that, that Sacramento Kings where he shot it, he hit that game, and then they all just ran off the court. He's trying to redo that, but it wasn't working. I mean, that's definitely a really weak area of it. And defensively, he seems just kind of lost, kind of to the level of Poole, to be honest. At least like that's like my visual test. When Poole was with the Warriors, he was just kind of getting beat and he was just like running after dudes. He just did not look there. And that's what I kind of saw, especially against the Rockets. They were doing whoever offense on Hield. So that's definitely
mhm.
a little bit different. But to combat his lack of defensiveness, we did bring guys like Kyle Anderson, who's been doing his role of like doing great defensively. Let's pull up some of his stats. Um, if I could do it swiftly.
2 miles an
Uh,
hour, 2 miles an hour average speed.
2 miles an hour. Dude, against the Rockets, that one Euro, so he was looking like me out there.
Yeah,
Literally so low, but he got it done. That's all that
yeah,
matters.
yeah. Love him.
If we're gonna get to his defensive stats, again, points not super crazy. His points are literally 4.8 points, but blocks, uh, he's not doing great, but steals 1.7. So uh his blocks haven't been insanely high.
Assists, well, rebound, well.
Plus minus,
He's a great guy.
well,
He's a great guy.
but his steals though. I mean, again, 1.7 steals are pretty good, and even blocks. Obviously, there's so few games. We've only played 6 games, so everything's inflated right now because it's just such a small sample size. But the point is,
Yeah.
defensively, he's there. He's in front of his man, and he's doing that. DeAnthony Melton, he's also a solid defensive piece. We haven't seen much of him, unfortunately, because he has been out because of what, a back strain or back
Yeah, I think it was a back screen. I know
something.
Wiggins had like the
So
same thing.
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
he's
Wiggins,
he's
like,
always been kind of a he's always been somebody who misses a lot of games, so I kind of wouldn't get your hopes up. Like, I'd be
yeah,
shocked if we
again.
got more than like 50 or 60 games out of him.
But again, the point still remains for the lack of Hield's defensive prowess. We got Anderson, Melton. Another special shout I want to give Lindy Waters, underrated as hell, dude. He's the hustle is obviously there, but to a certain degree, like there could be hustle, but you could just be trash. Like Juan Toscano, all due respect, he had the hustle. Bro was falling over the board. He was falling into the crowds. He was doing all that, and he was great. He has a chip. Shout out him, but he just wasn't that great. Lindy Waters, he had that one game where he had like 27 points. He was hitting shots like crazy. So he has that ability, but not only does he have that solid 3-point ability, he's also a solid defensive player. This is all, again, from the visual eye test over a span of 6 games. In the chat, I had mentioned he is giving Damian Lee a much more athletic, better defensive Damian Lee. And I'm just really happy with the pickup. He is a lot older than I thought, to be honest. I thought he was like, 23-year-old guy, but he's actually 27, so he's literally in the peak of
He's
his
been in the G
prime.
League for like 4 years,
He
which is
Yeah, he
kind
was
of
has, he
with
cool,
has.
OKC
cool
for
to
a
see.
season.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was with the Thunder G League team. So shout out him. I really want to give him a shout out. He hasn't been averaging that many minutes these last couple of games, I think. Uh, I don't know exactly why. Why do you guys know exactly
I
why?
think
Why do you guys think that
the
is?
game that he got a lot of minutes was the game that Wiggins missed. So,
Yeah, that was
he
it.
plays the wing, Wiggins plays the wing. Like, I think that was kind of it. Also, then
Makes
he got
sense.
hot when he was playing, so they gave him more minutes,
Right.
you know?
Makes sense. Makes sense. I really want to see more minutes for him though. Like he's because it's not like Wiggins is doing insanely great.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
We we like I would way rather we give a guy like Lindy Waters that time and clearly like he has that ability, like I said, against the Pelicans. He went crazy. Let's give him a shout out against the Pelicans. What was his stats? I
27, you
Think it was
said, I think.
27. Yeah.
think it was 27. You're right. So
On like
uh,
7 or 8 made 3-pointers. Just
literally, he was
insane.
doing great. Yeah, right now he's only averaging 15 minutes, 6.7 points, 2 rebounds, 1 point. Stats are not that great, but again, stats are not everything. Draymond's a prime example of that. So like I said, I like our depth. Number two, uh, for me, like I think the biggest thing for me was depth. Uh, Number two, honestly, I think our schedule hasn't been super hard, to be honest. So that's why, like, I'm not really jumping that, oh my God, 5 game win streak. The league is over. Like, again, we've played the Trailblazers, the Jazz, the Clippers, the Pelicans twice, and then the Rockets, and then the Wizards. None of which are super duper crazy good teams. The Clippers, I guess if you want to say it, they were like, okay, they're all right. But again, they're not playing super great. None of their guys are playing super duper great. Well, I
Hmm.
don't want to say none of the guys. I don't know much about them, but they're not doing too great. Is that correct, Thomas? You're and Wes. I know Thomas is a James Harden fan. So, like, are the Clippers underperforming severely? What's up with them? Vaguely,
They've been doing all right, honestly. I mean, let me check the record really
I was
quick.
seeing a
But
lot of highlights of Harden like playing
Harden's
terribly.
been
He missed
Harden's been
like
balling. I think you're just a
really.
hater. Yeah.
I
He
could have
kind of cooked
sworn he.
us. Him
Damn,
and
bro,
Zubac kind of cooked us.
dude.
Yeah, I mean
So
they're 2-4 though, so
I could have sworn I saw Harden like. I mean, well, don't trust highlights, I guess,
I mean
but he missed like
he's
game-winning
averaging
free
22, 11,
throws.
and 6. He did do that. He's averaging 22, 11, and 6. Like
Okay. Field
the,
goal is
the,
not
the
great though.
efficiency is pretty bad
Jesus
though. Yeah, the efficiency
Christ.
is pretty bad.
26% from the three and then 36% from the field. Okay, yeah. So
I know Big Zoo's been balling. He's averaging like
yeah,
Yeah.
I know
18
Zubac
and
has been
10.
playing well. I did hear
Yeah.
that as well. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I don't think we've had many tough competition. Our competition on Wednesday in 2 days, we're playing against the champs. That will be an important game to see. Obviously, this team is not a championship team because I mean we're doing the pod now, so we might as well. We've been like restraining us three talking about the
What?
Warriors too much. I was about to say you just cut me off mid flow. I was saying that obviously we're doing the pod so we could talk about what we think the Warriors are gonna do overall in the season because we've been restraining ourselves in the chat and just in our personal calls talking about the Warriors so we can save it for the podcast. God damn it. Bro didn't let me finish the sentence. So I don't think this team is obviously a championship team. Uh I think it's like a 6 seed team based on how we're playing right now. So maybe a little bit ahead of playing because it ultimately falls down to just us not having a number two option. We have the depth, which is my biggest point. Like I think our depth is great. We really have great depth. And Looney has also been playing. Honestly, it looks like he's rejuvenated himself. Like last season, I really thought his
He lost some weight.
knees
He lost some weight.
definitely lost some weight. He's been putting in the work. He seems a little bit rejuvenated, stepping a little bit that hot tub of youth. He's been playing a little bit like that championship season, grabbing boards. Like he did that one play. Like he went for a. I forgot against which team, but he was going for the basket. Like he went to for it. He wanted his points. He wanted his own. So overall, the depth. That's my biggest point. I think our depth has been really great. Um, and as for like the holding the leads, I don't know how I feel about that entirely, Thomas. Again, our sample size is very small, and against the Rockets, we blew a big lead. We missed 18
Yeah,
free
but what did
throws.
we do? We finished it off. Once we got into
Kind of did.
OT
Pause.
Kind of
in
did.
the pressure situation, in a pressure
For
situation, we
sure, for sure.
executed.
That's a difference from us for last season. We didn't execute, but yeah, I think the biggest thing for me, I don't really have 3 points. I made the rules and I changed the rules. I think our depth has been great. I really appreciate the depth for sure. Passing it on to Wes.
Yeah, I mean, I would say like the biggest difference for me between this year and last year, like I think we were a pretty good defensive team last year, and we're still kind of that this year. I think just like the biggest difference is like how much offensive skill we have on this team. Like you kind of said, we don't have a number two, which we don't, but like still like the aggregate like ball handling, like when we're all healthy, which we saw like a few games of when before like three of our guys got injured, like Steph can ball handle, Pods can ball handle, D'Anthony Melton can ball handle, Dre can ball handle, Wiggins. I kind of trust him to ball handle. Like if there's not full court pressure, I kind of trust him. I guess. I'm trying to think
Minka
of
can handle
other
too, honestly.
Kaminga.
Mostly in
Yeah,
transition, but
yeah,
less so on the
yeah.
half court. But
And I feel like that was why we lost a lot of leads last year. Is like our defense would be pretty solid, but then like we could go really cold when like Steph is not out there, or even if he's out there, he's the only guy that could really like facilitate offense because like CP3 and I forget who Clay, like they were kind of just like ball stoppers, and
thank God,
like without Steph, if there's no offensive flow, then you're kind of screwed. But now we
thank
have
God Steve
guys
Kerr didn't get his way.
like I mean
We're
I love
praying that CP3 comes back. We're praying. He was in tears. He was in shambles.
no, but like yeah, I mean I just really like the I guess I like the development of like our young guys as well. Like Kaminga and Pods, you can definitely tell they're not the same players they were last year. Like Pods, they're a little more polished, like their games. Kaminga's everybody's like way more aggressive. Like even surprisingly, like Looney, I saw him against the Rockets. He was trying to like his best to make himself a threat because like last year it had Looney been out there, he's just not an offensive threat. You can just like totally leave him alone. But this year he's kind of like if he's wide open, he's gonna try to push the basket or put up a midi, which I don't know if he's shooting that well, but I saw him hit a few midis, which is promising, honestly. So, but I think that's
I've
my main
also
takeaway.
I also want to say like Draymond, he's been definitely putting in the work for his three. He's
Yeah, yeah.
currently his
Yeah.
percentage is not too bad right now. He's solid 46.7%, 7 for 15 for the season. What does that say? Don't leave him open. That's what that stat
Yeah.
says right now. Only 6 games, but you love to see it. Like he's definitely been putting in the work. You could tell that that's what's really great is you could tell that these boys last season, the season before that, they were like, "Yo, this is not good." We're clearly they still believe in their heart that we have another chance, and I think we do as well. But just not with this could not be our final form roster. We need Mike Dunleavy, my brother. You need to cook something up. We need one more piece. It's absolutely necessary. Like the Pacers got
Jimmy
Siakam.
Butler.
We
Jimmy
need the
Butler.
same thing.
We're getting
I
Jimmy
mean,
Butler.
Give me Jimmy Butler,
unironically,
please. I
I
want
would
him
love
so
that. I would
badly.
love that piece. I would love that piece with us. He's a great defensive guy. He has obviously not been the most consistent offensive player, like the best offensive player forever. Like you know what I mean? Like not to the level of like Steph and
But as a number
other guys like
two,
that.
as a number
As a
two,
number
that's
two, he would be phenomenal, and he'll get that ring that he deserves. I really would like that. I mean, but the issue is that here's the dilemma we're in though. We then have to give up some of that very, very dear depth that we have, which has been kind of a very bright spot for us
yeah.
this
I
beginning of
think
the
my
season.
opinion on that is that I think we have enough buffer
Honestly,
space with our I think we have enough buffer space with like our roster to give up like a few solid rotation guys to get that like a number two is necessary. If we're just content with mediocrity, we can get the sixth seed or fifth seed at best. But if we really want to contend, we do have to make that trade and like lose a little bit of our depth to get that solid number two.
Okay, so Thomas, you were going to say something.
So
I'm going to pause
also,
you though, because I'm going to ask Wes something. Wes,
yeah.
what do you think we could be willing to give up for a solid number piece option, two option, like a hypothetical Jimmy Butler? But like, what's the limit? Like, what would you be comfortable enough to give to be like, yo, if we get that hypothetical Jimmy Butler, we're a championship team.
Probably like two of the three acquisitions we just got, like Kyle Anderson, D'Anthony Melton, and Buddy Hield, two of those guys, and then one of our younger, like either Kaminga or Moody. I mean, Kaminga or Pods,
Really? That's
which
aggressive.
I mean
Like I get
that's
your
what it would
point for
take,
sure. Like yeah, 100%. Like I totally get where you're coming from, but that's like
or draft
it's
capital. I don't know
aggressive
how much.
because I definitely feel like then at that point you're losing three. So we acquired Melton, Heald, Anderson, and then like from our young guys, it's Pods, Kaminga, Moody, and Trace. This is like our main depth, I would say, right? These are the guys we're seeing
Yeah,
that are
yeah.
like our depth. They're riding. They're the surrounding pieces to the core players. If you're saying we trade like three or four of those, then we're left with like just three out of those guys. Again, it's seven, right? So it's tricky. Thomas, you have something on your tongue. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say for Jimmy specifically, he's in a contract year and he's 36 or 37, I think.
Yeah, he's
Um,
old.
Ripe age at
I
36.
don't I don't think that he's a guy you're gonna have to give up that much to get. Like, yeah, it's probably gonna cost you like pods and a pick, maybe. That'd be my guess. Maybe two
Really?
if there's a bidding war between teams. But teams just aren't gonna give up that much for somebody who's that old and on a contract year because he wants a big extension. So if you're not willing to give him a big extension, you're literally just trading for a rental for half a year. If you are
Same
willing to give him
question
a
to
big
you, Thomas.
extension, well, I mean, I don't know about that, but
Same question to you, Thomas. What are you willing to give up? What's the upper limit, and what do you think is like the lower limit of realism for what Dunleavy could offer and what you as like a GM would be willing to offer for Jimmy Butler?
I mean, it's literally what I just said, like 2 picks and pods, maybe. Probably 1 pick and pods would be like the ideal offer. It's
So
again, it's
you're going
the
straight up
age and the
pods. You're not
contract.
saying
That's what it
Kuminga.
is.
You're not saying you're not like you're straight up pods. No Kuminga. Obviously Moody, I don't think is good enough.
I mean, Kuminga, like the reason I wouldn't do Kuminga or I would do pods is because Jimmy slots more naturally into the role that pods plays on this team currently. So it would
Which
be more
is
of a lateral move, like you just getting a better version of pod, which is as a facilitator, as a secondary creator, as somebody who's going to handle the ball a fair amount when he's on the court,
bring the ball
and
up
who's
to the
going to move the
court,
ball,
etc.
and who's going to then be a point of attack defender on defense. And obviously, Jimmy's an upgrade in like every single way to pods and basically everything he does. So that's why it would be him. I don't know though. Like I don't even know if Jimmy's getting moved, and also like I just don't like he's been so injury prone. Like if we
Yeah,
traded for him as a rental and then he gets hurt for the playoffs, like that'd be pretty
that
rough
would
to give
be
up
that.
depth
Oh,
and
that'd be
picks for a
horrible.
guy who's not going to be
Yeah,
out there. Like that's what I'd be really scared about. So I don't know. I'm like very iffy on that.
Yeah.
I would.
Is
I
there
would.
any?
My
Is there
hope
anyone
would be that.
else that you guys are
This is
like?
best. My hope would be that somebody else opens up. Like Laurie is probably going to be in conversations again, but who knows what the Jazz front office is
Mm,
doing with him. Like their
mm,
age is so unpredictable with that. Giannis is like don't give in to like that's ridiculous. Like that's I mean people on Twitter talking about it, but like that's not happening. Um Other than that, you'll probably have to see as the season goes on. Kuzma's gonna probably be in talks. Think anybody else?
I mean,
Maybe
the thing
Tobias
is,
Harris could end up. I
if you
mean,
don't get good
definitely
enough of
want
a
him, but
guy, if you don't get good enough of a guy, then we're just gonna be in the same situation last year where like
100%,
someone on Clay's caliber is our number two, and then we're just not good enough
100%,
at that
hundred
point. Like,
percent,
at least it
hundred and
won't be
ten
Clay.
percent. I mean, but it's
On
another
Clay's
season of
I
caliber,
guess.
how bad can you
mediocrity.
be? On Clay's caliber? What do you mean?
0 for 10.
You're putting Hassan out there?
Bro, literally, actually, I would have hit 1 3. Sorry. If I'm okay, the wide open shots he's getting, I'm hitting 1 3. I'm 1 for 20, but I'm hitting 1 3. Come on.
From NBA
Give me the
range,
one.
from NBA range.
Bro, 1. Give me 1. 1 out of 10, please. Yeah,
I
but
don't know about all that.
I think Wes hit the nail on the head. It's if we don't do anything, which my gut tells me we ain't doing shit, to be honest. I just don't think like clearly like what we saw last season, bro. Dunleavy is hesitant. Like at least that's what he gave off last season. It was just like we need a trade, we need a trade, we need a trade, we need, and everyone's like, yeah, surely it's this guy, Laurie, Siakam, et cetera, et cetera. We didn't do jack. So I am a little bit worried because I just don't know how to read Dunleavy when he first initially came into the front office. He did 2 moves, or he did one big move immediately. Poole was shipped off. CP3 was here, like that. But then after that, it's just been pitch black silence, right? So I don't know how to read him.
I
I
like
don't
the
know what
moves he
he's
did
gonna
though.
do
I love the moves he did though. But yeah, he doesn't
this
seem like he's
offseason,
like a
right?
huge splash. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Definitely agreed. 100% agreed. Um, we'll have to see. I think I'm really excited for the Celtics. That's going to be on Wednesday, 4:30 p.m.
And
Pacific Standard
OKC.
Time.
I'm going to the OKC game in on Sunday or
Oh,
Saturday,
actually?
whichever one it is. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's sick. Okay, sick, sick, sick. So if any of the fans are there, go link up with Wes. He's gonna be at the
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
Wear the 3 Points Podcast merch. And put like hashtag hashtag us on Twitter
Yeah.
and link up with
Yeah.
Wes. But big games upcoming. Celtics, Cavs, Thunder. Can we make the Cavs defeated? That's the goal. That's the
Wait,
goal, guys.
Yes.
wait, Wes, in the
Yeah.
one that's in Oklahoma
Yeah.
City,
Yeah.
did you transfer to like
No.
Nebraska University or
Me and my dad, like
damn, okay. Shout
we do
out.
one game each year, like away,
It's just
and we're flying
yeah,
in.
Shout out.
yeah,
Yeah,
because it's near
I'll see
his.
what's
It's
out
for your
there.
birthday,
I'll
right?
see what's
It's
out
near
there.
your. It's
Yeah,
near
yeah.
your birthday
It's
time,
near
right? Yeah.
Michigan. Yeah, yeah, it is. Yeah.
Okay, bro just doxed himself. So if any fans are in the area, you could find his apartment.
The entire state of Michigan. I don't know. Good luck.
But with that being
Good luck,
said,
guys. Look, stalkers.
next three games are big for the regular season. Then the group stage for the NBA Cup begins. As we know, this year we're winning the NBA Cup. Oh my
This
God,
year
the
it's real.
in-season tournament. We're lifting. Unironically, we can maybe win that because that's like elimination style games. Once you make it into the thing,
Cares.
You know who our opponents are though? It's like
bro, what do
Denver.
you mean
Who
who
We have like
cares?
What do you mean who cares?
I don't.
I
People, you
care.
can't get me to care about that.
I actually care. I actually care.
Lakers won at year one, so you know it doesn't count.
Dude, actually, literally, it's actually heartbreaking that
we
they
have
ruined the
OKC,
NC.
Spurs, Timberwolves, and Kings.
Oh, it's kind of
Kings.
nasty.
OKC.
Yeah.
OKC is the only really one I'm scared of, to be honest, though, actually.
Damn, okay.
No,
Yeah.
I'm kind of scared of the
Kings
Timberwolves
have
as
looked
well.
all right.
And I might not even be scared of them after this Sunday. We'll see. But
We will see. But we're gonna catch you guys next week after two big games. We're gonna record before the Thunder game, but we will record after the Celtics and Cavs. So hopefully we continue the win streak. We continue the away win streak as well. That's all from us. We're gonna catch you guys next time.